Satnam, dear friends, today we're going to start our lesson with an idea that today we are working on our emotional states. We are going to be working today on our closed heart or a broken heart. If you don't have a broken heart, that's fine, that's awesome, that's great. But people who do have broken heart, they know that certain meditations will be helpful. It's hard to deal with broken heart because the emotional pain is just way too severe. How we go about this? We do meditations, and meditation with breath is very powerful. We're going to do two meditations today. One is for broken heart, and the second meditation is going to be from phobias and fears, Trishula Kriya. We do it on a daily basis for like 2 years or 3 years now. So that's our program today. And it's very good to understand that technology of Kundalini Yoga is very helpful to change our emotional states. So let's begin. We're going to sit up straight. We're going to start with Oi Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow to the primal wisdom within myself. We're going to inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale to begin. Oi Namo Inhale, hold the breath, hold the root lock, and exhale. Mantra for protection to purify the space within ourselves, space surrounding us. Ad Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. I bow to the primal wisdom of all ages. Ad Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugat Gure Name, Sad Gure Name, Siri Gurudeve Name. Alright, very nice. So we're going to work today on meditation to help us out, to move the energy from the solar plexus, from the heart center up, and the energy, the blocked energy, unprocessed emotions, blocked emotions, severe pain, which we may go through when we have crises, when we have traumatic situations in our lives. So the mini breaths are going to help us to move this energy and change our frequency and release lots of pain from our body, from our system, from our heart. So micro inhales and micro exhales through an open mouth. This type of breath is working on Svadhisthana chakra, on our second chakra. And second chakra is responsible for our subconscious patterns of our subconscious minds, of our subconscious mind. And what's happening is that when our subconscious is overfloated with different impressions, and sometimes we do not have enough time to process these impressions, subconscious gets overloaded and we get depressed, or we have anxiety or anger or some kind of inner disturbance, because it is just too much what's going on in our head, as we say, quote unquote, right? Apparently it's not in the head, Apparently it's in the second chakra, okay? That's where it's happening. So we're gonna unload and sort it out, help our body to sort it out, the unprocessed imprints, impressions from some traumatic experiences or just from too much stress in our life. Micro inhales and micro exhales through an open mouth are dealing with second chakra and dealing with our collective unconscious patterns. So we may pick up some programs, subconscious programs from our family and friends, and we will start running these programs if we're not aware. We have to be conscious to understand if we pick up some kind of program from our relatives, from people who are close to us, from our co-workers. Because before you know, if you are not conscious, if you're not aware, it's like a virus. The subconscious program is like a virus. Unconscious program is like a virus. All of a sudden we just start thinking certain way which we're not accustomed. Certain way we may just lose our self-esteem because certain thought may dominate our mind, pollute our mind. It may not be our thought which we usually have in our mind, but after meeting with certain people, groups of people, watching certain programs, movies or something, we may have that virus in our subconscious. And before we know, if we run this program for way too long, it may go in our unconscious mind. And it would be very hard to dig it out of the depth of unconscious of our psyche. So we're going to deal today with programs, unconscious programs, which we may inherit from our families, which might be passed to us from our, so to say, bloodline, with the help of our bloodline, so to say, from mother to child, like what we inherited. We have sometimes programs which are very destructive, like I'm not worthy, I hate men, subconscious program really disliking the woman or not liking children or being fearful of animals, dogs, the programs of fear, severe fear and anxiety about heights or homophobia or whatever. These are subconscious, unconscious programs which might be residing in us. So we will not feel comfortable in our life if we keep running these programs over and over again. And these programs may be not quite obvious. We just feel certain way when we are exposed to certain situations and people. All of a sudden we start feeling fear or anxiety, or even we can get depressed from certain topics of conversations, or certain topics which somebody brings up, for example. Why? Because of subconscious garbage, so to say, because of subconscious programs which are of very low quality. You know, not life-supporting programs, but life-destroying programs, destructing evolution programs, the programs which put us down, which pull us down. I'm not worthy, I'm not good, I don't deserve it, I'm at blame, and so forth. You know, there are many programs which we may carry in ourselves. So tremendous amount of energy, our life energy, is going to support these programs, these thought forms which are in us, constantly running in our head. And what is the solution? To be conscious, to be aware of these programs, to write down, to think first and then write down what kind of programs you might have running in your head during the day. Maybe there's some destructive programs, and usually all programs are mechanical. There's not a program, it is called a program, right? There's not a program which is a conscious thought. All programs are unconscious, all programs are mechanical. So as soon as we start thinking consciously, we can throw some light, some understanding on what's going on inside of us. So it's good to sit down and think, what kind of thoughts dominate our mind? What kind of thought forms run through our mind during the day? Write it down and you can see the patterns, okay? So then we do meditation, any kind of meditation, any kind of daily sadhana will provoke these patterns of subconscious mind. The consciousness of the effort of meditation is gonna throw some light on these programs and dissolve them with time, okay? So it's very important to do meditation on a daily basis. 40-day sadhana, 90-day sadhana, 120-day sadhana, 1,000-day sadhana. Just keep doing the meditation every day. So we challenge our programs of our subconscious mind this way. Very powerful technique, meditations. And Osho says that our life is meditation, right? Or some other guru said that the life is a meditation. What does it mean? It means that you are conscious. You are in consciousness. You have enough vitality, enough energy to be in consciousness during your time when you're awake. Even in sleep you can be in consciousness, like different methods when you travel, you know, when you sleep to different places, astral travel and so forth. It means being in consciousness even during sleep. So you can be all your life in consciousness. We just need the life energy to support this higher mental functionality of our psyche. So we are constantly in consciousness. Majority of our lives we spend in unconscious mind. We live in some thought forms of the past, images of the past, fantasies, images of the future, phobias, fears, anxieties, different states, you know, pollute our mind, which have nothing to do with reality. It's just the virtual reality we live in most of our lives. We're not even here. We live in our mind most of our lives. We don't have enough vitality, enough strength to attract conscious thoughts. It takes energy to bring consciousness to this earth plane, to bring this type of energy of higher, you know, worlds, of higher plane. It takes energy, vitality, and willpower. So we need to exercise this. The more we stay in consciousness, the more we stay in awareness, how we live, how we think, how we process our emotions, how we process life's experiences. The more we're in consciousness, the more we support these higher states of functionality of our system. Higher chakras, so to say. Higher self. The more we are aware, the more we're conscious, the more the energy of consciousness feeds the energy of consciousness, and the more we expand consciousness, the more aware we become for longer periods of time, and more satisfaction as a result we have in our lives. So it's very important to understand that. And today's lesson is going to be dedicated to emotions, to our emotional states. It's hard to deal with emotions. Emotions are very powerful. Emotions are so powerful and they're so fast. We can't quite stop the emotions when they start, or we cannot really block them sometimes because they're just too powerful. We cannot sometimes transmute them into something of more quality, like some anger into some, I don't know, into compassion, or fear to love. It's hard to transmute, change the state, change the emotional state upon our will. It's really hard because of the intensity of emotions and because they are so fast. And the mental center is very slow. The higher mental center is very slow. But how we do that, how we transmute our emotions into different type of vibrations which are useful, how we transmute emotions into consciousness, we do such thing. We bring awareness into how we feel, and that is the first step, how we deal with intense emotions. We'll bring awareness to our emotional state. And the higher mental center is very slow. It's slow, it's much slower than the emotional center in us. So when we bring higher mental functionality to our emotions, we start being aware of how we feel. Try to understand why we feel this way. We transmute our emotions into very fine energy of consciousness. Very beautiful transmutation of energy takes place by just bringing higher mental center. When you turn on your higher mental center to whatever you do, yes, your life may slow down a bit because you're more aware, but it doesn't lose the intensity. Actually, we have even more intensity when we are more aware. Okay, our energies are not scattered when we're aware, when we're conscious. The intensity of life is insane. It's amazing. It's like walking on the razor blade. You're so precise. You're so in tune with vibrations of the space around, and you're so in tune with your core, with who you are, with God within. It's like, whoa. Crystal clear mind is beautiful. So don't be afraid to bring awareness wherever you go, whatever you do. When you think, sometimes it's good to think, oh, what am I thinking? What kind of thoughts are in my mind? Do I like these thoughts, or is it just a mental program mechanically running through my head? What kind of speech I have? Is it a conscious speech, or it's like just a record playing, some kind of program? Yada, 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 yada. Okay, what is this? What are we saying to other people? What are we saying to ourselves? Think about it. Bring consciousness to that. That's the process of transmutation, alchemy. The process of transmuting metal into gold, into some precious metal. It's a very powerful process. That's how the energies change in us. Okay, we are souls. We have energetic bodies. To support energetic bodies, to support ourselves, our spirit, we need to process these energies, lower energies, and transmute them into higher energies. That's the purpose of us in life as beings. We're here to transmute ignorance to awareness, fear to love, negativity to positivity. We live in this world for what? To expand our consciousness, to navigate in this world of duality. It's a world of duality. We're not talking about Advaita here. God is Advaita, truth is Advaita, absolute is Advaita, okay? Love is Advaita, right? We live in the world of duality. That's the nature of this world. Material plane. Good, bad, white, black, fear, love, and so forth. So when we are in transcendent space of mind, we're transmuting this duality into unity of Advaita, into unity of God, into unity of absolute, into something which is absolute. Yes, we can be very wholesome, we could be very healthy in that, very harmonious. We can be very powerful in our unity of all our functionalities. I mean, body, mind, speech complex, right? We can be very harmonious with dealing with our body, with our emotions, with our mind. We can be very professional at dealing with our body-mind complex, right? The professionalism is being aware, constantly being aware how we behave, how we think, what we say. Okay, when we do yoga, we do meditation. During the meditation, we are aware of our breath, of our visualization, of our mantra, for example, right? Asana, posture of hands, posture of the body, okay? We're aware. So during this hour, hour and a half, we are forced to be aware of what we do and how we do it. Kundalini Yoga is yoga of consciousness. During life, when we don't do yoga, we can be as well transmuting energy, fulfilling our mission on this earth, so to say, to come to God, to come to absolute within ourselves, to come to non-dual perception of reality by being in non-duality within ourselves, by being centered in ourselves. We open our heart, we stay in our heart with compassion, with understanding, Anahata Chakra, Christ consciousness. So we're centered automatically when we are dealing with other people, with the world, with ourselves from the heart center. And the second thing is how to stay in tune with your core, with yourself, is to prevail in consciousness and awareness, mental awareness. We turn on and exercise our higher mental centers, Ajna Chakra, Sahasrara Chakra, Vishuddha Chakra, okay? Higher state of consciousness are very beneficial for our well-being, okay? Exercise Ajna Chakra, intuition, consciousness, awareness, what we do, how we do, why we say what we say. It's not about being paranoid, and it's not being paranoid actually, it's being aware, two different things. Paranoid is like, oh my God, what am I thinking? Oh my God, I'm afraid of my own thoughts. That's schizophrenia, that's crazy. That's when you're afraid of your own thoughts, that's like not good, right? But when you're aware, it's like, oh wow, I understand, I have some kind of, you know, thought running through my head. I don't like that. I don't want being, you know, robotic about this, just running some thought in my head all the time, or some song or whatever. What's going on? I don't belong to myself. I belong to this program which runs in my head. What am I saying to other people? I'm opening my mouth and I'm saying the same thing to Peter, to Kate, to Tanya, to Bob. I'm saying the same thing to everybody. My God, I'm not myself. It's just the program running through this speech. Oh my God. Or, for example, somebody says something to me and I'm responding with anger, when I'm responding with tears. Why? Because that's the only way I can respond on certain stimulation. It means that I'm robotic, it means I'm mechanical, it means I don't belong to myself. I belong to this kind of reactional mind, subconscious pattern. And to certain stimulation I'll respond always the same way, like Pavlov's dog, right? The bell rings and the dog is used to being fed, so the saliva starts dropping. The saliva starts being, you know, kind of like stimulated in the mouth by the ring of the bell. What is this? Are we that bad? Are we that primitive? We don't activate our Ajna Chakra, we don't activate our brain, so to say. We don't use our capacity to the fullest, the level of normality of a human being. Are we what, animals? No, we're not. We have lower nature, yes, and we can definitely respect that, of course. Body, right? Feed well, treat well, you know, certain desires of the body fulfill. Okay, perfect. But with consciousness, what is good for us, we do what is good for us, not what is destroying us. And most of the time, we live our life in destruction, distracting ourselves from what is good for us, what is healthy for us. We break something which is working. We turn away from something which is good for us. We turn away from love because of too much fear inside, because of too much preoccupation, because of subconscious programs that we don't deserve it. We run away from certain experiences and beautiful opportunities because we don't think we deserve it, or because we're afraid to take a chance. What's going on? What's happening here? It's not natural. Something's wrong with us. So we have to really bring awareness to our activity, to our response, to our inner life, to our thoughts, and to the stimuli from the outside world. We have to really check it out. What's happening with us? Who are we? How our machine is functioning? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it a broken machine? Is it working okay? You know, and make adjustment. So today we're going to be working with our emotions and with broken heart.